We're live here at Pop Culture Renegades. Here's the thing. If Pop Culture Renegades is one of those things where it's like, if you want to see us live, you just gotta fucking figure it out.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we go live.
Now what you can do is go ahead and subscribe and put that reminder on, just like you do with hashtag, and you'll get a little bell that tells you, hey, Pop
But the thing is, we do things a little bit differently here, and we're not gonna have scheduled things. It's just gonna happen.
But that's why they can set a schedule. I mean, that alarm, so it will at least let them know.
So
we pop off at any moment.
Let it aggregate. Let people come in. Before I let people come in, though, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about who we are and what we do. We are that hashtag show right here on Pop Culture Renegades. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why are you that hashtag show on a different channel? Well, I'm going to tell you why. It's mainly because this is the channel that we can do whatever we want on. We can say whatever we want. We can have our own opinions. We can have side conversations like this one's going on to the right of me. We can do whatever we want.
It's kind of like HBO and Cinemax. They're owned by the same company.
Yep.
HBO is where we keep it classy. That's hashtag show. Cinemax, you know, when it gets late,
that's Skinemax, baby. It's Skinemax.
That's right, Skinemax. That's what PCR is. We give you the raw, unadulterated cut of hashtag show. So that means you get to hear our true opinions concerning almost any truer opinions concerning any and everything within pop culture.
Oh crap!
Well, the pop culture zeitgeist.
What are you doing?
So that's what we're talking about.
Exactly.
Like for example, what's our top topic for?
I don't know. There's gonna be a lot of things. We're gonna start off with
sorry, my bad.
Chris HARDwick.
Yep, I was gonna say.
Okay, guys.
Going HARDwick.
We're going HARDwick. Really. Like, all right. For example, if you guys aren't. Chris HARDwick, the founder of.
You're gonna shoot the load that quick.
I'm gonna go. Well, actually, before we do, let's do a little bit of housekeeping. Okay.
You clean house before you Chris HARDwick.
We don't have Super Chat here, but we still do have TeePublic. And TeePublic is a great place where you can go to get cool T-shirts, like for example the one I'm wearing right now. You can get this at teepublic.com. The Runberry, baby. Or the Battlestar Galactica T-shirt.
You need the Battlestar Galactica T-shirt. I just ordered mine.
There you go. See,
I ordered mine because he needs to clean up on aisle 5 over there.
Right, exactly.
Spill.
Exactly. So you can get T-shirts like that right there at teepublic.com/that#show. That's where you can go to do that.
Also, a lot of you guys wanted to know where After Dark was. It is right here. We also have the THS Hashtaggers place. You know what that is? That keeps you guys informed. Now, the people that are watching, Jalen, Layla, Toku, you guys are already in there. It's about
Toku. We met Toku the other day.
Yeah, that's right.
What's up, Toku?
Toku has mad love at hashtag show. You met Toku.
Of course, Toku.
Mad love at hashtag show. So what I want you guys to do, the guys that are watching, share this video out. We want to talk about HARDwick. We want to talk about the wrongs and rights of geek entertainment.
I want that Deadpool
and we want to talk about the way things should be and the way things should change. So good morning, Kevin. But we want to talk to you guys about that. We're going to leave this conversation. If you already don't know, this is Johnny. What Johnny does, he's a comic writer.
Johnny Parker too.
Johnny Parker too. He's a comic writer. What are your books?
I got Broken, a video game comic we just got fun on Kickstarter. I got Blackfist and Brown Hair. Like a brown exploitation comedy. And I got teen horror. It's kind of like Ghostbusters, but with teenagers.
And Johnny also does Henshin Hangout, and he fills in time to time for our Power Ranger shows. Now, I am Joe.
And me and Joe are both on a show called Infinity Watch.
Oh, yeah, we do the Marvel show.
Yeah.
Well, then we'll get that figured out. Yeah, right. All right. We do Infinity Watch, which is our Marvel show. So we have geek cred the way it is. I do Marvel here. I do the Power Ranger shows here, and I do some of the exclusives here. You can check me out at that hashtag Joe everyone on social media.
It's on the screen. On the screen.
On the screen. And Daniel here, he is our resident Power Ranger guy.
That's right.
He does the wrap-up, the retro wrap-up for all of you old school fans. He's also about to do a show with Jessica. That's right, I said Jessica.
Right, that's right. I'm going to do a geek love and dating show with Jessica, and also
that's actually happening.
Yeah, and we'll do a separate. We'll do a separate show.
All right,
that's actually a podcast.
Well, it might be Jessica and Sarah.
Well,
on your
yeah,
show.
Exactly. It might be Jessica and Sarah on our show.
You need that womanly touch.
At the same time,
you need that womanly touch.
No. Whoa, that's the thing. we're doing a geek love dating advice show that will be on a video about roughly once a month, probably 2 times a month on that hashtag show or PCR. Will be actual video, but we'll do a podcast that we'll be releasing weekly with myself, Sarah, and Ernie, and every once in a while, just there. And it's called Quest for Player 2. You can actually check us out on Instagram right now to get caught up on some of the topics we'll be discussing.
So what happens when you level up on that show?
Oh my God, it's going to be amazing.
But not only that, tonight, Daniel, if you guys have relationship questions, Daniel will field them right here live. Now, if you already don't know, Rob is the man that knows everything there is to know about Disney, and he is our avid Star Wars fan. Rob, introduce yourself, please.
So, for some of you who don't know me on Pop Culture Renegades, I'm a theme park guy. First off, I've DJ'd, puppeteered, acted in Disney World, Disneyland, all of the above. On top of that, you can find one of my acting shows on on what's it called? iTunes. If you've ever heard of iTunes, it's a reenactment show called Swamp Murders. It's a 45-minute show. You can pay $1.29, watch it. It's episode 5 or season 5, episode 4, whatever. Something Murder of the Medic. If you like Walking Dead, I was a stunt role. I got shot in the head by Beth, the Beth character.
On Netflix, you were recently
on Netflix.
What's some like almost like a Fresh 48 show? What was it like?
The Netflix show.
Yeah, there was something recently on Netflix that I was able to watch, and I was like, "Oh shit, Rob!" And I remember hitting you up like, "Dude, you were on the show." And you were like, "Yeah, I was on the show." Wow. No.
I think that was my doppelganger. Because my doppelganger is from. That was the Swamp Murder show.
Okay, there you go.
That was Swamp Murder.
Jalen, I want to thank
Other than that, doppelganger is Lonely Island Boys. That's my cousin.
I want to thank
Lonely Island. I love that.
The Lonely Island?
Yeah.
Like the only.
Wait, Lonely Island. So wait,
who's your cousin? Is it Yorba? Is it Is it Yorba? Is it?
Yorba's your cousin?
Yeah.
Really?
Holy shit,
dude! I've been following them since they were the guys. Since they were the guys on YouTube. Oh my God! I never knew that.
Hell no, it's not.
He's tricking us.
It's true. It is.
What's your woman's last name?
It's his cousin. Who cares?
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. He's my cousin. True story. So,
ladies and gentlemen, this is why you ask follow-up questions.
So, like follow-up story about that. But for real though, I have gotten doppelganger of that guy, and I've gotten doppelganger of
Jim Brewer.
Well, behind
I heard that this weekend.
Behind him, but yeah, I did actually because
I heard it. I was standing right next to him when that happened.
No, but Matthew Lillard, who played Shaggy in the original one, like.
I can see that.
Yeah, 100%.
Well,
I get Matthew Lillard all the time. Yeah.
You ever hear it? No.
Well, like, hey gang, how we doing? Like, how's everybody doing out there? Do we find Scooby-Doo? Like, I totally need some more Scooby snacks before we go on.
That's actually
come on, dude. He does it better than Lillard. I'm being honest.
More or less, if we decide to drink more rum, Captain Jack Sparrow is a little bit better.
Say zoinks.
Zoinks!
I like it.
Come on. Guys,
this is After Dark. So what After Dark means, and this is a new format of After Dark. If you saw the first After Dark that I did with Migdalia, I think you were on it, Johnny. You were on it, Daniel. I think Jezza was also on it. Jezza was barely on it, I should say.
He was falling asleep.
This is going to be the show that we are going to engage you guys, and no holds barred. Right now, really, in the media right now is Chris HARDwick's allegations that's going on right now. Chris, now let's back it up a little bit and let's give people the full story. Now, for those of you guys that don't know who Chris HARDwick is, he is the founder and was the CEO of The Nerdist. He eventually sold it to, I believe, Legendary.
Yeah.
And he can now be, well, he was seen on The Talking Dead, talking with HARDwick, and also Comic-Con panels.
All of those are gone.
But
the kibosh.
Let's figure out why they're gone. I mean, we can't jump into that.
Okay.
So, Chris HARDwick was recently accused of abuse and what was it? Sexual misconduct?
Yeah,
assault.
Sexual assault or misconduct?
They're saying assault.
Okay, they're saying full on
hold
assault.
on.
So
He's
this is
tagged
pretty much
in.
what happened. So pretty much his ex-girlfriend, not his current wife,
Chloe Dykstra.
he accused him of like manipulating her and also sexually assaulting her. She wrote a pretty detailed letter, got distributed online, where she talked about the years of sexual abuse she got from him. That included things like 1, not be able to drink because he himself was sober. 2, not be able to go out at night without him, and then other things on those lines. And she said that after the relationship ended, she did mention sexual assault. She said after this relationship ended that he had her blacklisted, and that will stop her from getting work throughout Hollywood. Now, because of this, though, a lot of things have come forward, and a lot of people are like taking things away from Chris Hardwick. Hardwick, thank you. What's also interesting though is that the ex-girlfriend claims to have audio and video evidence that's yet to surface. But even without audio and video evidence, as Dave was pointing out, all those shows we talked about earlier have now been taken away from Chris Hardwick.
Before anybody says anything about this,
all right.
I want everybody here, because this is going to be a hot topic issue, I want everybody here to really understand what you're going to say.
Okay.
Because this is going to live on the internet forever.
Yes.
So really make sure that you know what you're going to say and make sure that you understand what's going on.
And
I'm going to go off of this.
Before you do that, though,
what's
one last thing, because I totally agree with Joe, but also just to acknowledge the privilege in the room. We are all 4 guys talking about this issue.
Yeah.
Yes.
It'd be great for us to have McDowell, you're a Tony, or Maverick.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree.
This show just came out. Like this show just came out,
but I 100% agree with you, Johnny.
And then we're talking from our privilege and everything like that.
Great
so
point,
we just want to just put that out there. And honestly, to have this a balanced conversation with which one of our female members could be here, and hopefully later on we'll do a part 2 to this.
100% wish that was the case. Sarah McDahlia, Tony, all the above. We wish they were here for this conversation.
Yes.
But to be honest, if you're gonna be sleazy and try to get ahead, I'm sorry, but fuck you.
Wait. Because I really do want to reference that, because I'm not sure if you're talking about Chris or you're talking about Chloe.
I'm talking about Chris.
Okay.
Okay, explain yourself, Rob.
My aspect of this is the fact of going, okay, you could say she rode her coattails, but if you were...
She rode his coattails.
Yes. If you were doing that, but you basically made it for the fact that somebody could not get any farther because you are at a certain aspect of something and you're not trying to help somebody to level up.
Me and Chris.
This is LA. Let's just go with LA for a fact. It's a city of people knowing people. It's a networking aspect. Unless somebody's gonna push you or somebody knows you, you're really not getting anywhere in this town.
Sure.
Let's just be for real about this. That being said, if she's going to push this stuff on him and say, hey, these were allegations and they finally came out about it, good for her for speaking up. Because let's just go with the Harvey Weinstein stuff.
Oh,
okay.
Nice. Okay.
That whole entire thing came out and he got trashed.
Yeah.
Chris Hardwick has had a great career with doing Talking Dead. I personally I love Walking Dead. I thought it was a great show. I was very fortunate to work on it for a little while, for a little bit of what it was. But if you're going to go off of an entire career of that and you are a sleazeball on that back half, nah. Sorry, bro. Find some other work to do.
Daniel, let's hear your opinion.
That's my personal opinion.
My opinion,
and that's a fair one, Rob. I think you.
I'm being truthful and honest. Fact of being if you come from an era of being, I'm here to do a job, and I'm here for the fact of being, hey, I'm trying to bring something as an entertainment factor of bringing, hey, let's talk about Walking Dead. But if you're being a sleazeball and taking somebody on the back half and being like, hey, I'm not going to let you go any farther than X because you were this. Nah, man, screw you. So I'm sorry, because that drops somebody's basically, say, dream X job and basically going, because I think this, you're done. And we see this too many times. And the fact that she came out and said, hey, this is what happened. Good for you, sweetheart, because you should have done that a long time ago. I personally...
Don't call her sweetheart.
Yeah,
hold on.
Okay.
Before we get in deeper,
Daniel, but good for you for doing that.
Before we get into this, Daniel, let's reiterate what we're talking about, and then Daniel, I want your opinion on it.
Okay,
that's fine. But would y'all say that was a fair assumption?
1,000%.
Okay.
Now, reiterating what we are discussing before I even share my opinion, what she did share was her, I guess, experience with Chris throughout the time in which she was dating him, where he happened to be, I guess, now this is once again my review of what she shared, because she didn't say, hey, he's oppressive, hey, he's too dominant, hey, he's trying to hold me back, which is also oppressive. She didn't say these words, but what she described pretty much equals up to that, where he is oppressive, he is holding her back, he is making sure that she doesn't become a brighter star than him. That's pretty much what she described. Now, with that being the case, she did say, hey, he did say, you can't drink when you're around me because I am really working on being sober, so I need you not to drink. You can't do any level of drugs
You'll get
while
your
you're around
response.
me.
I know.
I'm literally like, I'm fighting back saying something right now.
It's fair.
He says he's told her, anytime you're around me, you can't drink, you can't do any level of drugs, and you have to be home by this particular time because that's the time I'm home. And if you do any of these things, it will help me. Know that. Yeah, that's the thing. And if you do any of these things, it will help me. It will stop or hinder me from my I guess rehab and make me fall back into these things. So I need you to be there with me. As far as the way, and this is the way he described it, as a way to strengthen me. That was one of the weirdest words I heard. As far as strengthen me, as far as in my rehab. Now, the thing is, yes, I understand. Yeah.
Don't add it. I'm not going to give my opinion or anything like that. You're doing a great job. Just want to add on there. In response to this, one of the things that she did bring up was that she was so depressed by this that she spent most days sleeping because it helped the days go by faster.
Yeah,
so
she couldn't. She didn't leave the house because she was willing to help him as far as his rehab. So she was like, "I can't."
He was in rehab.
Yeah. Well, he's
in rehab.
For this is the
drinking,
thing. I'll say this: almost a lot of people don't know. When it comes to rehab, there's never a moment where you are out of rehab.
No.
When you are in rehab, you are consistently in rehab.
Nope, 100%.
You disagree?
No,
or
you're 100% rehab.
Yeah, no matter what.
I've had some of my best friends in rehab.
That's what I know.
And they have been in there and they are there for a week or two, and then they end up coming out and they're like, oh, I feel better, and the people are doing stuff. They're engaged, and if you're not engaged off of rehab, oh sweet Jesus, if you're done with that, you are completely out of rehab.
Yeah. So the thing is, there's no such thing, in my opinion, there's no such thing as being out of rehab. It is a consistent and constant, which are both the same word, it is a consistent trial where you are consistently in rehab, no matter what. Everything that you do is always, wait, are you guys including alcohol? Are you guys including drugs? You're always asking. And you become that friend where people are like, damn, I don't want to fucking hang out with you. Honestly, hold on. At moments, no, okay. I understand it. I understand it, but
I agree with this. Like a fat man when I'm on a diet. Like I'm calling y'all like, what, y'all got pizza? You got wings?
What do you have before I show up?
Sure.
What do you have before
Whoa. That you were derailing this.
But that's okay. No, but what it was about her oppression due to his rehab. Due to his addiction.
Okay.
That's what the article was about. So I'm just saying, the thing is, you become a person, if not a character, that becomes oppressive. So anyone else that you hang out with, where you're like, okay, when this person goes out, for instance, it's like hanging out with, and I'm sorry to say this, it's like hanging out with a vegetarian.
Wait, I have a question for you then.
Okay, yes.
Well, hold on. What's wrong with hanging out with a vegetarian?
This is the thing.
Nothing's
Guys, we're gonna lose control. We're gonna lose.
Nothing's wrong with it, but what I'm trying to do is help other people see it, where it's just as fanatical.
So I have a question for you. Do you personally agree with Chris Hardwick? If this was true, do you personally agree? And if this was all true, and you're friends with Chris Hardwick, would you still be his friend?
It's too extreme. Unfortunately, I would tell Chris, like I've told other people, yo, there are some times I won't be able to hang out with you because some nights I want to get drunk. I want to drink.
Forget about that stuff. About the situation I'm with Chloe Dykstra.
I don't feel it's right. I don't feel.
So you wouldn't hang out with him?
No.
You wouldn't be friends with him?
No.
Hold on.
Okay. There will be nights where I will and nights where I won't.
We've had former cast members that have done worse.
Yes, exactly.
Explain yourself.
Okay. with that, there are nights where I will be willing and able to hang out with someone who's willing to be belligerent.
But
I guess.
but the cast member
that's not what he's asking.
was not belligerent.
They're the extended cast members.
Chris.
No,
they're extended cast
regardless.
members.
But I'm not talking about him.
Okay.
I'm talking about prior cast members that were legitimately had said some pretty
Very belligerent.
Yeah.
Okay.
but not drinking wise.
And I have hung out with them, and maybe I've been belligerent as well. I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa. No. That's not what I'm talking about either.
Okay.
What I'm talking about is people that say racial things.
Ooh, no. Okay. A lot of people don't know this about me, but once again, my like username or my screen name is Battlestar Galactica for a reason. Black is a very strong thing for me. Even though I'm Haitian American, I am also Black or African American. I don't know, whatever. But
I literally can't wait to the one day I get Josh on this show to really express what I'm talking about.
No.
It's not happening right now.
No, yeah.
I'm just saying, I can't wait.
The thing is, I am a guy that will stand up for everything and everything and almost anything that's black. Like Issa Rae said, I'm voting for or I'm rooting for anyone that's black. Let me ask you a question.
Regardless, let me ask you a question. We had just spoken about that stuff.
Okay.
Are you still friends with said person?
Said person? Honestly, I'm associates.
Time out.
Friends on social media?
What person are you talking
Friends
about?
I'll tell you off.
No, we tell you off air.
I don't want to.
Off air. But I am associates with that person.
If anybody has to say anything about Haitian factors, I have family members who are
Haitian.
No,
it goes beyond that.
No. I'll tell you after.
Down with you, sir.
So what I do want to talk about.
But what I'm saying is if that's the case, I will throw down with you on that.
No. I want to carry on. I want to carry on the fact of what we're talking about this Chris Hardwick thing, and Johnny and I spoke about it yesterday.
Yeah.
So Johnny, give me your fresh take.
For sure. But can I ask Dave a follow-up question, though?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Rob as well.
Go ahead.
Because you asked a great question where you asked, like, would you hang out with that person? But this is the thing we could need to be asking ourselves as well. Chris Hardwick is putting these things upon her. Do you think he put these things upon his other friends as well?
No. Well, I don't know. I don't know Chris. I mean, I know Chris, but
I'll say this. According to rehab, according to the things that you're supposed to do, you're supposed to put this upon everyone you know. Everyone that you choose to hang out with. You're supposed to let them know immediately, this is what I require. This is my quote-unquote hierarchy. If you don't, then you're allowing a person that can influence you as far as quote-unquote, which they use it in the church, but they also use it in rehab, backsliding.
And so the problem with that is, though,
well, hold on. You're talking about church and backsliding. What do you mean by church backsliding?
Okay, well, church backsliding means
define that for me.
Okay, church backsliding means that you're supposed to be super spiritual, blah blah yada yada, and you're not gonna jump or connect.
Yo, you got Eminem, son.
You're not supposed to connect with anyone that's what they say within the world, as they say. Which I guess
no. Don't even sneak. Just come on in.
Yeah,
bro, we got.
Yes, boy.
There you go.
He had M&Ms. I was like, yo.
Yeah, we want M&Ms. So I'm sorry. We're gonna do this.
If you ever want to know about gaming, this is the guy to talk to.
Yeah, dude.
I
ain't
love
trying
board games and video games.
Dude, thank you, sir.
If you guys haven't heard about the board,
and you're not hiding anything. Come on
exactly.
in. Cameo.
If you guys haven't heard about the,
thanks for the M&Ms, son.
If you guys haven't heard about the Game Bug here in
Comic
Game Hub, I'm sorry, Comic Bug or Game Hub in Manhattan Beach.
What a jabroni.
Yeah, you're missing out. Really, honestly,
This is why we don't let Daniel.
Is that a wrestling term?
Game Hub.
Jabroni.
Yeah,
Jabroni is.
Okay.
But the Game Hub is a great place where you can come and actually literally play games, Magic. Or what's another popular game right now?
Pokemon. We got board games.
Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all.
Warhammer! There you go!
Yo, may I just say, we were out at Alhambra the other day. Y'all were going crazy for when the Pokemon.
No, I left. I was gone by that point.
No, you weren't there.
No,
but I'm telling you, Johnny
and
Dane were going nuts over that.
You can check out my Instagram. It's really
phenomenal to watch.
To give reference to this, the singer who does the Pokemon theme song was there performing at the Alhambra show that we were at, and he literally got there and sung the Pokemon theme song live.
I'm sorry
if I fanboyed out, but my childhood came to life, and I was right there singing along.
I you know what? Say,
I wanted to be the very best, like no one ever was.
We're good.
To catch them was my real test. To train them was my cause.
Yes.
Pokemon.
I traveled all around Detroit.
I'm not gonna lie.
Searching far and wide.
Holland in Michigan. what I have to say is Johnny and Daniel.
Toronto, Canada.
I've been to Toronto many times, but he's from Detroit.
Yeah,
I grew up in Michigan, bro.
Ontario's
That's like my hometown team. But what I have to say for that is the fun thing about what we do here at like Pop Culture Renegades
And hashtag show.
Throwing that out there. I may not be the biggest fan of Pokemon, but I was happy to see my friends happy that was happening. At the same time, these guys were totally geeking out, and I was like, to me, I was like happy for my friends doing that.
But see, and I agree with Rob 1,000% on that, because just because you might not be into
maybe not be that thing, but you like honestly, for me being factor, okay. You guys on Pop Culture Renegades may love Power Rangers. I may not know anything about Power Rangers, but the fact that you
were on
Power
3
Rangers,
episodes of like a Power Ranger.
I know. I was on 3 Power Rangers because I wanted to talk to you guys, because that's just how I am. I'm a person who likes to talk to people. I don't like sitting at home. I just don't do that. If I'm bored at home, I'll go to the beach. I'll go talk to
with
people.
You on that.
I don't like doing that. But
Thanks,
here's the one big thing about my life that I've noticed for the longest period of time. Yes, I will clap, 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 clap.
I will clap when I speak.
I'll clap when I speak. I'm a hands person. I talk with my hands. But if my friends are having a great day because of something that they love doing, by all means, do it. I don't care if it's factor of your gender, your neutrality, your race. If you are having fun what you're doing, do it.
Except if it's politics and you're trying to lynch minorities, then I have a problem.
There you go.
Well, I have a problem with that too, and for the fact
and Rob does too. Yes,
I do.
We all
have
do.
a
I would
problem
say
with that.
the majority of us do.
I mean, we should. Like, if you've watched some of the Star Wars shows, Joe has obviously contradicted me with the fact saying Schindler's List was a fun
That was
movie.
one time.
Listen, I'm just bringing that back up,
Hey,
because the fact of the matter is I watched that during Christmas one time.
It does not make it a fun movie.
Wow.
It was that was my Christmas movie for the year, bro. I literally was like, $5 bin. Okay, I'm gonna watch this movie. And to be honest, I'd rather watch The Grinch Stole Christmas and Die Hard, but that's just me. I'll watch it once.
I'm with you on Die Hard,
bro. That's my Christmas movie, by the way. That is a Christmas film. And by the way, my new Christmas card is gonna be the Fox Tower.
I thought you were saying the Fox and the Hound.
No.
Fox
and Hound. The Fox Tower.
Hold on.
I haven't seen it yet.
Fantastic.
We went off subject a little bit. I want to talk about this HARDwick thing.
Yes.
Mainly because...
I went off.
I know you did.
Toku.
But I want to talk about it mainly because Johnny, I feel like Johnny, you have a lot to say about this.
Yeah, so it's a very complicated issue, because think about this, we were discussing this the other day, because the honest to God truth is that I believe, like, in a lot of things we do in America, like, one of the things in our court system, like, I totally believe that everyone is innocent until proven guilty.
100%.
Like, plain and simple.
Yep.
And so when this Chris Hardwick thing comes down and everything like that, and he's being vilified immediately and everything like that, and he's losing all these, like, jobs and things he's worked for over the years without actually any evidence being brought forth, it does sadden me. But the thing about it is, then I had to think about it deeper, though, because I began to understand, like, why these things were being taken away from him. Because let's be honest here, Bill Cosby was accused by 42 different women, and he never went to jail until like just recently. Harvey Weinstein was able to leave the country, and he hasn't been prosecuted at all. R. Kelly has done like horrendous things.
The fact that Dave Chappelle had a whole skit about that.
Exactly.
Come on, man,
crazy.
So
Dave Chappelle made money off of R. Kelly for crying out loud.
And right now, he's leading a sex cult. So the thing about it is that like the fact that these things are being taken away by Chris Hardwick by like social responsibility in a way, like the community, the people being held responsible because our courts and our legal system aren't. I understand where they're coming from, because while I may not, because again, I do believe that everyone's innocent until proven guilty. I understand why he's being punished in this way. I understand why these things are happening to him, because there's too many times that people who are guilty get away with it, and this is a way of holding people accountable. Now the thing about this is though, if he is innocent, he can get all this back. Like in
Housekeeping, can't get all this back. That's
I have a personal story concerning why you can't get it back.
Okay, I agree.
When you're finished.
But I will say this though, but if he is proven innocent, then hopefully over years he can work and build back his image back up, hopefully. But the thing about it is that I do understand why this is happening to him.
I hate to say it, but I
do me a favor, pass me the Skittles. I have a personal story.
What happened to my opinion?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna have.
Shut up!
I have a personal.
Hand me some of those before.
I have a personal story. I have a personal story.
Yeah, guess what? Well, it's my turn.
Okay, fine.
So here's the deal.
Let him have his chance, because we've talked a little while.
Here's my thing about this whole situation. Chris Hardwick, if you're listening, you're probably not watching. You're probably in a hole right now, crying your eyes out because you did something terrible.
Time out. Would you be Chris Hardwick crying your eyes out? Because I would.
I would. And I'm
gonna
tell you right now.
Like crap.
This message is for Chris Hardwick personally from Joseph Deckemeyer, who's going to replace you at some point, to Chris Hardwick. But Chris Hardwick, I will tell you this right now. Now, You and I, we've met in the past. I used to work with you at G4, but I'm talking to you right now. What you did, and you know what you did. You might have made it seem like it was a relationship issues. However, it wasn't. It was these kind of things are this is what is considered abuse. And however, I'm not the kind of guy that's going to jump on a bandwagon, so I'm not going to crucify you. However, with that being said, I do feel that we, as a whole, as a community whole, we should all listen to both sides and then figure out what was right and what was wrong. Because I do, and Chris, even though, in my opinion, I have my own opinion on what I think happened, but I'm not going to persecute you, not here, right, not now. But I do think that as a judicial system, if we don't hold up to what we believe in, then I think we're no better than anybody else. And we can just accuse people for whatever it is. And I don't agree with that. However, regardless if this is true, I'm going to stand by Chloe Dykstra mainly because for a couple of reasons. Number one, that the story that she told, the personal story that she told, it's not, to me, that wasn't a testimony. That was her telling a story. Regardless, and she never said your name at all. True. When people jumped to the conclusion it was you, it made a lot of sense though. And secondly, I personally think that I understand with the women empowerment movement right now, and the four of us right now, we're not women, but we do support women and we do support what they mean, what they stand for. However, I'm not going to be the villager with a pitchfork trying to crucify you. If it comes out to be true that this happened, shame on you, man. But if it comes out to be false, you know what? Shame on Chloe. However, I'm not going to discredit Chloe for the feelings that she had, because regardless, the feelings that she had were obviously real. And regardless of how she interpreted what your relationship was, you made her feel like that at the end of the day. And if she felt like that at the end of the day, regardless of whether you or a jury considers it whether they consider it abuse or not, that's one thing. But at the end of the day, you know what that means? Treat your girl better, man. That's what it comes down to for me. So Chloe Dykstra, I fully support you. Chris Hardwick, you know what? Keep your head up. If you didn't do this, then trust in yourself. If you did do this, no, right now is the time of reckoning. But you'll get through it. You know what? Because I feel that people go through things to get out of it for the better, and that makes you no different. So that is my piece on this.
I'll share something. Oh, go ahead.
I agree with Joe totally, because as I said, I believe in the whole innocent until proven guilty, and I do understand why this is happening to him and why people are only socially responsible. But I agree with Joe totally that, again, if he did do this, shame on him. But about where this is coming from, part of the reason why I'm always very skeptical about these things is because, to be honest, as a black man in America, we have a history of being accused for things that we haven't been done before. I agree. And a lot of times it's been done by white women. And just be totally honest there, because there's been historic cases like Rosewood, where about several 100 black men died because of one white woman's testimony that one man raped her, and they went on a lynching spree and everything like that.
Is this the story about Duke University?
Well, I have a personal story.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I have a personal story that I'm willing to share right
And then
after.
there's also the story of Emmett Till, where apparently...
Oh, yeah,
where he was accused of going down south. He was a young man from Chicago. He went down south with his family. A white woman accused him of whistling at her. And so they went and lynched him. And they beat him and did these things and terrible things to him. And they had a funeral for him, and the mom had an open casket funeral so the world could see how badly he was abused.
This was the 1940s, right?
Exactly. Yeah. The crazy thing about that is, though, the woman recently died a couple years ago, and it came out that she was lying about it.
Yep.
Yeah. So the thing about it is that's the reason why we have to be careful with these things, because again, we need to make sure we get to the truth first before we start to vilify and punish people. Because again, as a minority, I look at Chris Hardwick and I see what's happening to him, but I'm scared. If something like this ever comes after me, the thing about it is that there's nothing to hold them back, because it's oh, you're black and you did this. It's exactly, I'd be in handcuffs. Okay. So that's the reason why sometimes this stuff does scare me.
So going off of that,
you wouldn't be with me here,
Johnny. Going off of that factor of going off of scaring America with handcuffs. So I'll say this, I don't really care. I'm technically still a Florida resident off of factors. I was dropping somebody off at the airport at one point, and I had a cop look at the back of my license plate because I have Florida residence.
In California?
In California. And I have Florida residence because I have a house in Florida. Okay, I have a house in Florida. I'll honestly tell you that. I have no reason to change my stuff around because I'm back and forth between so much.
Sure.
I have no reason to go, hey, I'm strictly California resident. I have work in California. I've got work in Florida. So with that being said, I had a LAPD in the airport area pull me over and put me in handcuffs behind my back and sitting on a curb. I've never been more scared in my life. And that factor of matter being said, just saying off the fact, I know you laugh.
You know, I've had a few times.
I know you,
even right here in front of where we shoot.
Yes, of where we shoot.
I've had that problem.
Now,
well, that was fair though.
What? No, I'm not talking. I'm not talking about that.
Mind you being said,
another moment where I literally stepped out and they were like, "Come here."
Fellas, y'all know me for a little bit, right?
Yeah.
I'm a pretty easygoing guy, right? I love y'all. Let's be real. I'll be a pretty honest
we're all
dude
brothers. We're not the same race. We're all brothers.
But like, to be honest, most of my and I'm just saying this, most of my best friends have been in they haven't been white.
Yes,
they have not been white whatsoever. 100%. I have friends of mine who have either been gay, African American, Puerto Rican, like everything. Most of my best friends, Florida, we're a very big mix. Michigan, I grew up. I have a handful of friends that are white. Basically, I have a very mixed friends base. But what I have to say is what you're talking about with being handcuffed behind your head. I've never been more scared in my fucking life. And well, I have to say this is the fact that I have Florida plates. I live in Florida, California. Being said with that, I've never more felt in y'all's shoes than at that point. And what I mean by that is the factor of saying, hey, this is a section of time where let's just say, instead of being in the Midwest. If y'all were in Missouri and you're driving down the road, I will 100% say, I don't want y'all to get in trouble. I'm fucking driving.
Yep.
But it's also not a thing. I don't even think about race anymore, Rob. I think, honestly, I mean, we're 4 males on this panel.
Yeah.
It's about being a male that you don't know necessarily what's going to come out about somebody that may be a jaded lover or may have the opinion of it different.
I will say that too being said. Now, I've been pulled over before. Let's just say Louisiana area. I was with a friend of mine who is African American, and we were driving to Texas. We got pulled over because of his tinted windows. He wanted the back of the trunk to get open because there's a white guy and an African American guy in the back of the window, and he going, "Hey, I need to check for drugs." Jesus. Why? Because we're going over the top of Missouri area? Yeah. Are you serious? Nope. No, come on, bro. Chill out. There's 2 states in the U.S. that already have weed legal right now. A, California, and B, Colorado. Like, this is not a thing. Guess what? Get used to change. You need to stop pulling people over because of the fact of racial facts.
Let me switch gears for a second.
Unless they make in trouble.
Well, before we do,
sure, go for it.
I had something.
Okay, I got you, because this is going to help you relate to what we talked about earlier.
Oh, well, I don't think it is. Actually, I've never
Sorry, we're on a tangent about cops. I never told you
Joe only knows this.
But I get it for the fact of the matter of I've been more scared of shitless in my life than the fact of being pulled up behind a cop with having
this is the thing. Okay, so my father was a cop, also a taxi driver, etc., etc.
He was a cop and a taxi driver at the same time? Bro, he must have seen this crap.
Because you have to remember, my dad came from Haiti, originally a teacher, and then came over to the U.S.
Your dad was awesome.
Yeah, my dad did a lot of stuff.
And he was shredded.
Which is so weird. Weird. A skinny guy, ridiculously shredded. Fucking Bruce Lee shredded.
I'm not trying to what you're talking about. I come from Michigan, a steak, mashed potatoes, that's what you eat. Haitian food is some of the best food
I love Daniel's dad, though, because Daniel's dad was shredded. He was one of the nicest dude.
For real?
He spoke French.
Yeah.
He was one of the nicest dudes you're ever going to meet, but he was shredded. But he was such a super nice guy.
Yeah.
I never, ever. Actually, it was your mom that was the disciplinary.
Yep.
Your dad was never that guy.
My dad was
I may have heard your dad yell at you once.
My dad was a guy that automatically.
What did you do? What did you do?
No. My dad was a guy that grunted more than anything.
Yes, that's a fact. But his dad would also. I think his dad only got mad at him once, mainly because it was. And if correct me if I'm wrong.
Yep.
It may have been because That we watch a porno.
Yeah. They happen to find. They happen to find a porno. They happen to find a porno
Hey,
inside
this is
the
after
VCR.
dark. It don't matter, right? It's after dark.
We were kids, and we happened to have a porno inside the VCR. I told everyone to get out because my parents were home, and then my dad happened to find me eject the porno, which is a VHS. That's how old.
But his mom was. His mom was the big.
Was it Blockbuster? And did you rewind?
No, it was a friend. It was a
friend of ours.
Come on, Johnny. That was.
But anyway, moving on. My dad.
Tell the story.
Moving on. My dad had a lot of jobs. At one time, years later from when he collared this person, this guy's daughter, my dad arrested a guy who was a drug dealer, and this guy happened to always hold a grudge against my father.
Jean-Claude's not one you want to fuck with, I would tell you that,
exactly.
because he is ripped.
Exactly. So this guy goes ahead,
Damn.
my father's name was Jean-Claude Jerome.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck with him.
Yeah, right?
Jean-Claude
Jerome.
Daniel and Jerry got the dick names of the names.
We got the
legit as fuck.
He's dead. My dad is Haitian. My brother and I got the whitest black names.
No joke, his dad was legit as shit though.
Yeah.
But he was like, he could have named you little Jean-Claude because you couldn't live up to the legend. Where's LeBron James
the
Jr.?
legend. Yeah, exactly.
Now looking at him as an adult, that's somebody you do not want to fuck with.
You don't want to fuck with. So my dad got accused because the thing is, my dad happened to bust up a particular drug ring. And my dad was a Metro cop. Metro cops are people that pretty much you show up and you arrest people at like large events, like Pride or blah, 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 who are belligerently drunk. That's what my dad did. He elevated himself enough to be, it was like, detective, okay, I can continue on and I can be into internal affairs or I can go into Metro. Metro is, you're not doing any work at all. That's what my dad ended up doing. Metro. Fucking, let me be easy as fuck. So that's what my dad did. And he happened to bust up a particular drug ring. So this guy held a grudge for my dad. So much so that he had a Bronson for my dad, that he had his daughter go ahead and accuse my father of sexual misconduct.
Wow. Is that true?
Yes. And my dad went...
You got this.
I'm sorry. All right. It's one of those church moments when they're like, go ahead, baby.
You got this.
My dad was arrested because she accused him of sexual misconduct. It was proof ultimately that my dad was innocent and she was lying.
Because your dad would never do that.
Exactly. Her father told her this particular story and told her to be able to recite it in court. When it came time for her to get to the stand, she said, I'm sorry, none of this is true. My father told me to, blah, blah. She said this on the stand herself and cleared my father. One of the hardest moments in my life was to see my dad behind that glass in jail telling me that he's innocent. But the thing was, this kind of holds me to a particular level when people say, oh, this person did something, to kind of question the whole thing of, well, is this true or is it not?
Yeah.
And that's what makes it hard versus anyone else, because I've experienced it on the side of, this is part of my family being accused of something, and I get to a question where it was like, do I question my father or do I believe my father? And it's hard to do. And that's where I side with the Chris Hardwick thing. Is it true? Or is it false because someone wants to?
Right, you're at the proven before.
Yeah, innocent before guilty, proven guilty. So that's where it's hard for me concerning the Chris Hardwick thing.
But you know what the crazy thing is with the story you just told? The difficulty about what you just said is the justice system. Because the justice system can't rate. Because I know your dad. Yeah. But they can't rate. They can't rate the level of person of which I know. You know what I mean?
No, exactly. So, you can't do that. You have to actually go according to the facts. Where was he? When did this happen? Was he there? Does he have an alibi?
Which is a dick thing to do.
No, it's accurate. Also very accurate. And ultimately, it was the thing that leaded them to prove that my father was not guilty.
Sure.
So with that, I'm like, okay, if you're not guilty, the facts will hold up. But if you are guilty, the facts will not hold up. So with Chris Hardwick, right now at the moment...
Wait, would you say that one more time?
Huh?
Say that one more time.
If the facts... Well, if you are not guilty, the facts will lead up to it to show that you are not guilty. But if you are guilty, the facts will not hold up. and you will be found guilty.
You said if you are guilty, the facts will hold up.
Will hold up if you are guilty.
If you are guilty. Like, if you are guilty, unfortunately, the facts will not back you. But if you are not guilty, the facts will back you and say, hey, he is not guilty.
So, Johnny, I actually want to talk to you about this, actually. Because
can I say one thing to that too?
Yeah, go for it.
Because here's the thing, because now you know I got your back, and I support you totally. Because the thing about this is that stuff happens, and I just give the examples of like Rosewood and Emmett Till. But the problem with this though is that again, as we say this and we have this conversation, we acknowledge that it'd be great to have some of our female members here. And the thing about this is, as we discuss this, we are in no way saying we're victim blaming.
Nope.
No.
Because the fact of the matter is because I agree with you, but the problem with it is that even if you are guilty, the facts may be there, but the justice system will fail. Just as Bill was bringing up a minute ago.
I agree.
Because there was that situation, I can't remember, it was like the rugby player or something like that. He was like going to school. He got to rape this girl. It was like the swim team or something like that, but the judge didn't want to prosecute him.
Yeah.
He's like, because he has a bright future.
That was recently.
That was bullshit, though.
Exactly. And that's the problem, though. And there's some tales of like some football players like in Texas or other places where they've been charged with things. And again, they got up because, well, they have a bright future.
But on the flip side of that, there's been women. Also, on the flip side of that, there's been women that have accused football players of sexual misconduct. Then it comes out that wasn't necessarily the truth.
Exactly. So I think this is the thing what it comes down to is those we kind of mentioned before is our justice system needs to step up.
Yeah, here's the deal.
Job of this.
Honestly, what it comes down to, I'm sorry to cut you off, but what it comes down to for me, people, stop being fucking dickheads. Like, if you're going to accuse people of something that they did, make sure it's something they actually did. Don't do it for fame. Don't do it for glory. That's bullshit. But Johnny, I want to continue on with what you were saying.
And the tag. Judges, don't be fucking dickheads. If somebody's guilty of a fucking crime, put them in fucking jail.
Yes.
Hold them accountable.
Yes.
Because here's the fucking problem. If your skin's dark enough, we're held accountable for every fucking thing under the sun. But the thing about it is, though, is that if you have a bright future,
you would know that,
or you're
man,
doing something for somebody like that, all of a sudden you get every breaking opportunity. So here's the thing that comes down to it, though. Do your fucking job. Guess what? If you would hold these rapists accountable in the first fucking place, we would not have this situation where society is having to hold these people accountable. So Chris Hardwick has had these things taken away from him, but that's because of you fuckers who haven't done your damn jobs to put us in this predicament.
So I want to just throw this out there with that. So this has to do with stereotypes of sections.
Well, and just being a male in this day and age in
male in day and age, like male in day and age of being in any limelight, like I have to go for this factor in the matter of going that I am a straight white male individual.
You have a disadvantage than the most of us in terms of
societal.
Well,
yes. Straight white cis male.
Yes.
Societal, but not necessarily in terms socially.
Yes, but what I'm getting at is the factor of this. Hollywood likes to play this factor right now. And I love the fact that, like, let's just say, like, Black Panther is putting African Americans in a great light right now.
True.
For instance of that. Like, this is the turnoff that I have of that. Movies like Superfly that are coming out.
Oh, boy.
I love I'm not going to lie. I kind of like Superfly.
Okay.
I need to go see it. I won't see it. It looks good.
It wasn't a good film, but it's
not a good film.
Daniel, have you seen it?
It's Blaxploitation.
Whoa. It's not.
Now, this before y'all get on this factor, I'm going from my white boy talk.
Okay.
But if I look at that trailer and I go, you guys want to honestly be like, and we're trying to fight for equality, right? Mm-hmm. Right. So this film, to me, if I were to look back at my white ethnicity and be in a factor of esque, and they want a section of it being to where it's not about being in gangs, which is stereotypical.
Yeah.
Would A be African Americans of being A stereotypical of that, and B being gang related. That's all that film is to me. That's what it says. When you have something that goes out like, hey, let's have Black Panther be on there, which is a positive thing.
True.
B pulling people out of hey, we have this race that has a good culture, a good aspect of pushing more towards positivity, but then we have something like Superfly that comes out to me that goes, hey, we're gonna do a bunch of stuff about gangs and have drug related stuff, which is technically like essence of the norm, would I be off of
I
that?
disagree with you on that, but
Okay,
I'll talk about it.
But you see what I'm kind
No,
of
I
coming
do.
off from that?
Listen, and by the way, Rob is the least most racist person you're gonna meet. We're brothers.
Yes,
all of us.
100%.
Like,
if anything off of this, if you're watching right now,
he's just presenting a scenario.
I have 2 brothers who are gay. I have 3 at least friends who I consider family, and I will take bullets for. One's from Philadelphia, who is probably from one of the most gang-related places in Philadelphia. Ben Sampson, who has fought for his life in Afghanistan twice. If you're watching this, I love you, brother. Give a hug to my little
Ryan
niece.
says, Rob, I love
Thank you
you.
very much. Thank you. But that being said, like, I grew up in Orlando, for crying out loud, for like 10 years. If you can't get any more melting pot than
You
that,
guys don't understand,
I got
Orlando.
Brazil, I got German, I got Japanese.
Yes.
I got
Orlando-
11 fucking countries in there.
Orlando is literally Brooklyn.
We got
but
49
farther
who got
south.
shot in a club. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
the way-
if you think that I'm racist, I'm sorry. Fuck you.
Nobody ever said that. I was just
Okay,
saying.
Yeah,
but
no,
I'm
but he's
saying
right. He's
that-
right.
Good, Rob.
Fuck you. You think he's
Sorry.
racist?
No opinion of that. I love people. I'll give you a
No,
hug,
yeah, Rob's
hands
family
down
right here.
before I do anything like that.
Rob's fam.
But
and-
what I'm
and-
saying is if you're gonna go stereotypical about stuff, I want to see the things that are gonna be pushing the let's just say color difference ahead instead of behind.
Hold on.
I don't want
I
to see
think
the proper
films
narrative.
like
let's just take Superfly for
instance.
example. I think that's stereotypically on the outside looking in. I think that can be termed as a current day black exploitation movie. I don't look at it that way. Personally, for me, this current version of Superfly, which is produced by Sony, I'm not going to spoil it.
Right.
But what I look at that as is the current rendition of the American Dream, and what I mean by that is that the reason I respect that movie. I don't think it's a good movie, sure, but what I do think they do well is exploiting the American dream for everybody currently from our generation. And I think that if you're like, honestly, if we're,
I think the negatory in the fact of being
because
like,
it's a Superfly. No, I get it, but here's the thing:
because
if
it
you
goes
look
back
at,
to the
if you-
70s.
Sure,
with
it
that,
does.
in
It
my
does
opinion.
absolutely, because that's just the name. But if you look at for the context of the movie, it reminds me very much of Scarface. So
It is,
Yeah, but
actually, it
Scarface
is.
was a certain specific thing. That wasn't even a.
But the
like,
story,
that was a Cuban
yeah,
thing.
You're right. You're right.
Well,
It's,
see,
a,
that's
it's,
the
a,
thing.
it's a
That's
specific
100%
thing.
a
But the
Cuban
story
it
in this
was-
movie parallels Scarface.
No, that's the thing. Scarface was a Cuban thing. Superfly is, sorry to say it, guys, it's a black thing.
But it
Scarface
yes,
was
it's a- yes,
in
I
that
agree
way
with that.
where it's like, hey, we are oppressed, we are a marginalized community, and what we have
How
as
does
far
it
as
to
our
Chris
ways
Hardwick
to
become
live.
a black thing?
So you,
No, I don't know.
you could go
I got
off
you.
of
Wait,
that
wait,
and
wait,
say
wait.
the Italian white thing was Goodfellas.
Well, that's
Like,
true.
well,
Hold on,
come
let's
on.
bring it back
No,
for a
it
second.
is
Let's
true.
hold on. Whoa,
That
whoa,
is
whoa,
true.
whoa, whoa, whoa. Let
That is
me
true.
gain control of this. Let's bring it back for a second because
see now.
what this started off as is
Oh,
Chris
wait.
Hardwick and his ill wills. But Johnny, you wrote a book recently, a comic book recently,
yeah.
about because we talked about racial division in this country, about getting stopped by the cops. Johnny, talk me up about the book you wrote.
So a while back, kind of like when I first, so this kind of goes back a little story. When I bought my first like newish car, like here's the thing, you know I'm a teacher, and I've told you guys this before. And the thing about this is that we don't make a lot of money. But a few years ago, I was gonna buy my first newish car. I had to make payments on everything like that, and I was like really excited. It was a used car, but it was like the newest car I've ever had.
But it
And
doesn't
so-
matter because that's your car.
Exactly. And so the thing about it is I'm getting ready to drive it off the lot. It doesn't have plates. So I turned to the salesman who just sold it to me. I was like, yo, so where are the plates at? And it was like, oh, they'll come in the mail, blah, blah. I was like, so what do I do when I get pulled over? He's like, oh, no, you'll be fine. I was like, no, bro.
You
I'm
have
black.
that gap
No,
license.
no.
What do I do
Well,
when I get pulled over?
you're supposed to have that gap license and insurance. thing.
Exactly, but I was like, what do I do when I get pulled over?
Right.
And I'd explained to him that I'm black, this is going to happen, and he kind of explained it to me. And so, but the thing about it is that what crazy thing was like after that, for that first like 2 months, I got pulled over once a week.
No shit.
And the thing about it is because again, it's a Ford.
Were
It's
you here?
Yeah, here in Manhattan
Oh,
Beach,
dude.
like multiple areas.
It's
The
I
first-
get pulled over
Yeah,
still
yeah.
weekly.
But it was like,
I get pulled over weekly.
Daniel
But it's
Nagami
like-
gets pulled over.
Daniel Nagami-
He's a goddamn Japanese
Yo,
man.
why you
He's
get pulled
Japanese
over,
now.
Megami?
Once again, in some particular areas, you will get pulled over no matter what you are.
But the thing about this was that I pulled over in Manhattan Beach. I was pulled over in El Segundo. I was pulled over in LA. I was pulled
Torrance.
over everywhere. Exactly. So the thing about this was because again, I'm driving this car. Now I do understand I don't have the plates and everything like that. But I kind of like talked to my white friends about this, and I was like, "Do you guys get pulled over for this kind of stuff?" I was like, "No, we just get that kind of that pass in a way."
Yeah.
And so the thing about it is what people don't understand is like when you're a person of color, kind of like we was talking about being scared earlier. Like if somebody accused me, I wouldn't know what to do. It's because a lot of times you get this pressure put on you because like when police get involved, like you go to jail, we get shot, all these type of different things. And so it kind of inspired me like those experiences to write this book called The Black Man's Guide to Getting Pulled Over by the Police.
Dude,
Which really
promise
should
you-
be,
Can I
which
see
really
that?
should be the
Can I
colored
see that?
people's guide to getting pulled over.
Honestly.
Yes, but here's the problem with that.
Johnny, can I
Like,
see
so
it?
here you go. So
Yeah,
the thing about
pass
it is,
on
though,
down. We'll see.
when I
It's a
wrote
really
it,
good
I
book.
immediately called
It's a
a couple
really
friends of
good
mine.
book.
Was like, I feel like I should make it the colored person's guide, but it was like, no, man, because this is like y'all struggle because y'all the ones getting shot. Y'all the ones when that y'all do get shot. Y'all know one gets prosecuted and needs to be put in there. But that's the reason why the opening statement there. I dedicate the book to any person of color, any person transgender.
I've actually read
anybody
it.
who's gone through there. Like, yeah, because we're all in the struggle together, being stereotyped and whatnot. And so the thing about it is, though, so that's probably the reason why I wrote that book.
And if you're white listening to us, which Rob is, I mean, listen. And Rob understands struggle because some of his closest friends are people of color. So it's not just a us against you.
Well, Rob has to
It's
deal
an
with
all
shit.
of us kind of.
you
Rob had to
start-
deal with
start
shit.
with this, before you start with this, I had before we even did the Star Wars show earlier today, I had one of my best friends who is Asian, Asian gay, like LGBT, like. He called me earlier today because he goes, just need to talk to you because you're a positive individual. I love you. He called me earlier. That's why I was standing over there. Y'all saw me beforehand.
Yeah.
He called me because he was having a bad day. Something really happened bad in his life. That's the kind of person I'd rather be, is if somebody called me and they wanted to talk to me.
Johnny's texting his girlfriend.
But that being said, this is, good Lord, this is a good book. Sorry.
Right, literally.
No,
first
for
3
real,
pages.
that stuff sucks.
First 3 pages, you're like, oh shit, this happens to people.
No bullshit.
Like,
Like,
it
I do
gets
look
you.
at that as a guide, though, like a
Literally,
legitimate
it
guide.
gets you. It gets you in a big.
Wait,
like,
whoa! But
this happens to
and this
people?
isn't a plug. This isn't a plug. This
No,
this
no.
wasn't
No,
supposed to be
no.
that. However, Johnny, where can people find that book if they want
Yeah,
to purchase
exactly.
it?
So don't worry, I'll plug it in. You can go to my Instagram, JohnnyP313 on Instagram and Twitter. I'm setting up my Gumroad store where I'll be selling that book and everything like that. I'm only gonna sell it for like $1 just because I want people to read and get the word out there. But it kind of go back
Johnny,
to
if you need a white boy like voiceover, I will 100% be down, bro.
Rob did make a comment yesterday when we were at the
Serious.
convention, and he was like, "I'm the token white boy," and you kind of are because there's no
No, I
other
am.
white guys.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm 100%.
Like I can't think of the out of Arnold Lord cast. We got Roe, we got us, Jezer.
yeah.
No, but I
You
am
actually
100% the 100% white guy. In
But
the
see,
show.
that's the interesting thing because none of us have ever looked at, even Rob himself has
true.
never looked at it as like, hey, he's the only white guy.
That's
like
true.
jokingly, we may have said that, but like it's never like, oh, Rob's just the white guy.
It's
not that.
Let
It's
me
not
put
that.
it like this.
Here's our Jim
So-
Carrey out of In Living Color.
Oh, that is so true. No, but that is so
I
true.
do a good Grinch
That is so
impression,
true.
I'll tell you that,
No,
but-
that is so true
No,
though.
but-
The one Jim Carrey
know the dope
out
part
of the
about that?
entire In Living Color.
You know what the dope part about that was though? It wasn't like Jim Carrey blew up and left everybody behind.
No.
Everybody blew up.
Yeah.
Because when they all came together like that and that diversity was there, everyone got a chance to shine and everyone got careers from that.
Well, that's the
Even
thing.
a backup
Let me put it
dancer.
like
Color,
this.
they were all
Jennifer
on the same
Lopez.
Exactly.
level.
Even a backup dancer became Jennifer
Let
Lopez.
There you
me
go.
put it like this. This is kind of like a fun talk. Why wouldn't we want to do this without having fun?
Yeah,
Well.
exactly. And that's the thing is like Rob and I
The
were
essence
talking.
of entertainment being said, there are 7 stories that have ever been told. Everything else has been recreated by 7 stories. And you got more M&M's. Son, bring that stuff over here. Son, bring that
With-
stuff
with-
over here.
Ladies
But,
and gentlemen,
before we-
ladies and
can I-
gentlemen.
Anyways, what I have to say about that is the fact of the matter is we do this stuff because we like talking about it.
Yeah.
But with the fact of being of entertainment and the fact of being diversity-wise, guys, this is for everybody.
It
There's
is.
no reason that nobody else shouldn't have an opportunity to do this. Guess what? You have your own opportunity because if you're watching from the USA, you have the opportunity at any point to go follow your fucking dreams. I'm sorry, but it's your fucking
Go ahead,
truth.
Johnny. What were you
Well,
gonna
this
say?
kind of
Go ahead,
piggybacks
Johnny.
this guy because seriously, I totally agree with you, Rob. But the thing about this is, kind of like going back to your original point, we talk about Superfly, and the thing about this is, I agree with you. Black Panther is an amazing movie, and the thing about this is, it's
Well, let's say
inspiring.
the third act.
Yeah.
Except yeah, that's probably we'll talk.
What's wrong with the third act?
Yeah, but the,
Oh, God.
but the thing about this is that it's an amazing movie. It's inspiring you to see all these great things. But you know what the sad part about that is, though? That movie is of what if.
Yes.
It's like, what if slavery didn't happen?
Yes.
What if Nigeria Nigeria is one of the richest countries in the world, has all these oil wells, but they're all owned
Yep.
by people outside the country.
Yep.
Nigeria should be like Saudi Arabia, where everyone should be like princes and kings and everything like that. So the thing about that is, it's like a what if movie. But when you look at Superfly is like a representation of reality. But some of the dope things it's still doing, though, majority black cast, writers and
Yep.
everything like working on there, and so it's still giving these opportunities.
But
And
it's a reinterpretation of the American Dream to me.
Exactly. Not only that, but it's a reinterpretation of American Dream through a person of color's eyes.
Yeah.
Because going back to, for example, because I haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm referencing Scarface.
Yeah.
So you see Scarface come to this country, he's like, I want to make it in this world. I'm going to work hard and do all these things. And what happens? He gets a job as a fast food stand. Because he can't get those other opportunities that he actually wants.
Right.
So I think about this for like, so again, I agree with you, but I think it's an accurate representation. And as long as it doesn't glorify it, because I haven't seen it yet, but as long as it doesn't glorify it.
I haven't seen it yet either.
But going off Scarface and the original Superfly, those guys end up dying at the end, and it kind of shows if you go down this path, you're going to fail. So you got to find some other way to do it. And so I think that's part of the thing about it is because the thing about it is though, you know where I teach at? I teach in South LA.
Yes.
And so the thing about it is though, I try to get my kids to stay in school because they go down that path all the time. And so hopefully they will see that movie, they're like, this is dope. Future's making the soundtrack, this is dope. Like, shit, he died at the end. Fuck, man, Parker was right.
He didn't die at the end.
Yeah, but
let's spoil it, Joe. We talked about this.
You said it.
I said hopefully. I haven't seen it yet, Joe.
Well, hopefully,
dang it, Joe.
Hopefully, the horror.
This is what we're talking about.
Chill out.
Well,
but let's be real.
Hopefully, the bad way to look at it.
Scarface. Tony Montana dies at the end of the film.
Yes, he does.
Tony Montana dies at the end of the film because he crashes. Everybody crashes on him at the end of Tony.
Hey, Matthew. Also, you were saying like, who is this discussion for? It's for everybody.
Oh, but to bring it back though, but yeah, that's the reason why I do support
people
movies
in
like
England
Superfly
and Canada shouldn't follow their dreams. No,
Canadians should always follow their dreams.
No.
We get free healthcare.
Listen, Joe's from Canada, okay?
Exactly,
he gets
right?
free health care. Listen, I still pay Obamacare, so let's be real on this.
I
freelance for a living.
Luckily enough, I have a 9-to-5 that doesn't let me have to deal with Obamacare.
Regardless of that, what Johnny was talking about was.
So going back to it though, so go back because you're bringing this into like Hollywood and everything like that because we started this all by talking about Chris Hardwick and we talked about how like again innocent until proven guilty. However, we all understand the reason why this is happening and the reason why this needs to happen is because. Again, the legal system isn't holding people responsible, so the community's holding people responsible. But the problem with this is, though, because you brought up Hollywood, Rob, which is a great point, is that they're only being held responsible in Hollywood.
Yep.
Let's be real. Like the office worker who's working her 9-to-5 job and everything like that, she's being sexually harassed every day. 100%. And if she writes a letter, she's going to be fired.
Yeah.
Anything about it is her boss will be taken down. And so that's kind of like the thing that we're talking about here. And that's the reason why the Me Too movement is so important. And so if Chris Hardwick gets taken down, I do feel bad for him. Yeah. But at the end of the day, he's not Deanna's dad.
Nope.
He's a millionaire. And so he'll be kind of straight in a way if he is innocent. At the end of the day, he'll be fine. Yeah. But here's the thing, though. But that woman who's doing that 9-to-5 every day, probably a cashier at Ralph's or some local supermarket, who's being harassed by a manager, if she writes a letter, she's going to get fired, and they can't support her kids. That's the problem.
Yep.
And so those are the people that we really need to hold responsible because these needs to trickle down to everybody. Like, people always talking about, like, the Hollywood wage gap. There's a wage gap for people of color. There's a wage gap for women. Yep. And every time we talk about athletes and movie stars, we talk about closing it for them, but we need to close it for the common person. And that's what we need to start doing. We need to start holding the people down, the middle class parts of America and the lower class parts of America accountable as well.
Yeah, and hold on, wait, Layla.
No, because I want to go off of Johnny.
We will, just in a second. Layla, yes, we are more than geeks. We do discuss amongst ourselves political issues, real issues. This is the whole reason for Pop Culture Renegades is for you guys to get to know us as people. Johnny, outside of a comic writer and henshin stuff, me outside of Power Rangers and whatever else I do, Daniel outside of the same thing, Power Rangers, whatever else he does, and Rob outside of being a DJ, Star Wars, and Disney. It's getting to know us as people. That's why we do this, Layla. And yeah, Blackwing, we are people, and we are all people. Yeah. You guys watching us here, your guys' comments are just as important as us saying things.
Exactly.
So keep those comments going on. Rob, go ahead.
Before you say that, just to piggyback off you one last thing.
Johnny,
go ahead. Johnny, finish your statement.
Because Joe's totally correct. And guys, one thing that you need to do as well is that you got to speak out. Because the thing about it is, we're having an honest conversation here, and you're all geeks and nerds too, but guess what? You're also people. So when you see wrong stuff happening, you got to speak out as well.
Yes.
Because until people speak out, it's going to keep going. And that's the biggest thing about the Me Too movement that's trying to teach us, is that we need to speak out and stick together. So we need to, again, work together to help change these systems. Sorry, Rob, go ahead.
No. So, that being said, when people have jobs, they're hired for a job. Let them do a job. But if you're sleazy in your job, you need to be called out for it. I know I was going off something, but I was letting Johnny go do his thing. But, like, it bugs me for the fact of going, like, let's just say, if you were hired for a job and something says, hey, you can't do this because of X. Now you're going to get thrown out for this. Why? Because of race, because of color, because of blah, 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 blah. That's not right. But being with the Chris Hardwick case, of him having extra baggage off of what happened with, what was his girlfriend's name?
Chloe Dykstra.
With Chloe, you can't be doing that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's like any type of job. I grew up in like a theater background. I was in Orlando doing stuff at Walt Disney World. Let's just say, if you've ever been there at a festival of Lion King, I would be around half of my cast members that I would be with, and they would literally be in basically bra and panties half the time. Between shows, it would be bra and panties. And I'm telling you, these are nice six-pack looking girls. And this is the norm. You literally walk around and be like, okay, I'm in this area, and you would have to be like, all right, just got to get used to it. You can't, if you were to say something off that, somebody get A, offended, B, you have to be chill with it. It's just something that was normal. Like, changing in front of somebody is just on the regular. But if somebody's not used to that factor, you have to be A, either regulated for it, or B, in the aspect of where the situation is evolving from. Now, mind you, half my friends that I was with, we had a cast of 100 people per show. And 65% of them were half naked half the time.
Blackwing says you're absolutely, Rob.
Yes, I'm absolutely. But I'm absolutely right off the fact of being said.
I'm sure that's what he meant to say.
But what I'm saying off of this is you get to an aspect of there's a respect factor.
Yeah, and the thing about this, what I like about you said, because I totally agree with you, is that it kind of goes to what we talk about in society all the time. Because people always try to like do these things like, oh, she should have worn that, or girls, you shouldn't wear these things to avoid this kind of stuff.
Not
exactly.
necessarily.
And the thing about this is that when it comes down to it, whatever the fuck you want. Because the thing about this is that we just gotta get normalized to it.
Let's be real.
And you
But if I wore a cop costume,
I'm wearing bright shorts right now and look like I work from a fucking oil company, but it's just Boba Fett because I was doing a Star Wars shirt and I was going to the beach.
You look like you.
I look like I came off from the freaking street.
But if I was
woke up in the
wearing a
morning,
police uniform, I'm not gonna say it.
No, but the
right.
thing is, okay, let's say we go to the extreme.
Let's stop that. Hold on. Let me just say this, people, is that when you're looking at us, you're thinking, hey, those are the coolest guys that you're seeing ever.
Yeah.
And that's true. But
Yeah.
I also want to say that it's also, the thing is, the one thing that I honest to God, no bullshit, this is me talking to you directly, is that the one thing that none of us ever see, and this is no bullshit, is that it's color lines. It's mainly because the one thing that with Rob, Daniel, Johnny, Jezer, Migdalia, Jessica, Maverick, Sarah, every single person that's here at that Josh, Daniel, Nagami, everybody that's here at that hashtag show, we look at each other as people. And I think that's the most important part. Yes, you know what? And I will not bullshit on this either. A lot of us are geeks. All of us are geeks. That we might be geeks in different scenarios in different ways. But the fact is, we all share our geekdom in different ways. But it never our race is not a fucking factor in any of this.
No.
I am not ashamed of calling any one of these people here at Hashtag Show my friend. My closest friends, my family even. So what I'm saying is that I think our society needs to change. I know this didn't necessarily start off as a race thing, but our society needs to change in order to be looking at everybody, whether you be trans, gay, straight, white, black, Hispanic, Asian. It doesn't matter what it is to me, as long as you're looking at everybody as fucking people. I mean, that's what it comes down to, right? We're all here for the same causes. Listen, and Power Ranger fans, you guys can relate. Mainly,
Yeah,
and I'll say this, the reason why is that there's a lot of fans that might not like the first season. There's a lot of fans like this season, that season, whatever.
I'm all about that Ivan News.
Yeah, there you go. There's a lot of fans that like every season. But at the end of the day, you like the same thing. Yeah, you might have different opinions on what you think is the best, but you like the same thing.
Power Rangers.
Let's do that as a geek community and show the world that we're better than this dumb political bullshit that's going on. We are better than that. We are all better than that. It's not just me on my high horse here, though. Rob and Daniel and Johnny are here to speak about it as well. Now, this Chris Hardwick thing is a completely different scenario,
right?
Where I think that, and I do agree with women, is in a way, is that they have been overlooked for a lot of things, and now it's their time to shine. And what I think, though, is that like Johnny said, though, I'm not a guy that's going to persecute somebody mainly because I don't necessarily know what happened. However, with that being said, there had to be a fucking cause for some of this shit. You know what I mean? So, guys, I don't want to say in closing because this has been a great conversation. But, Johnny, I want to talk to you first, though. What the fuck, Chris Hardwick? What's your what the fuck, Chris Hardwick?
Yeah.
I'll go back to you.
Okay.
I'm just kidding, Johnny. I'm gonna say it right now.
Sorry, to me, I was like, I always say, what the fuck, Chris Hardwick? Who's with that letter, man? Come the fuck on. Have some sensitivity trained to the situation. Like, I understand you're trying to defend yourself and your job and everything like that, but fuck, man. Try to rationalize this a little bit and maybe try to get a meeting with her or something like this, or something along those lines. Because the thing, that letter did not paint you in a good fucking light at all.
No.
It did not bring anybody to your side, man. So come the fuck on. Be smarter than that. Be more sensitive to that. Fuck.
Daniel, what's your what the fuck, Chris Hardwick?
My what the fuck, Chris Hardwick is, dude, you should have approached the letter in a different way. You should have said, you know what? I understand how you may have perceived the situation, but let us sit down and have a conversation concerning exactly how I saw it versus the way you saw it. And if you feel that none of the things happened the way she described it, don't be afraid to actually have it televised. Because if you know you're right, actually have an honest, genuine conversation with her and say, you know what? I'm so not afraid of the fact that I know exactly what happened. I don't mind it televised.
All right, Rob, what's your what the fuck, Chris Hardwick?
Walking Dead's done. You're done, brother.
Wow. All right.
And I mean, to be honest, though, at the end of the day, when you think about it, if she was lying, instead of writing that letter, he would sue her for defamation of character.
That's true.
My what the fuck, Chris Hardwick is, I hope this was a ploy to get Yvette Nicole Brown the job on Talking Dead because she's better than you. What the fuck, Chris Hardwick? Yvette Nicole Brown is better than you.
Yo,
okay, that's true, but let's be real, guys.
Let's be for real.
Talking Dead is done. But if things go as planned, hashtag Dead may be coming to you soon.
I'm just pointing at one person.
Hey. I'm just saying. Joe, if you need like a special guest star who is on Walking Dead,
yes, Joe.
Bro, I will show you how I whip my head back on a stunt roll.
Listen.
Just let us know.
It's not me. I say Rob should do it.
Joe, joke writers to like put together some good stunts for you, whatnot. Just trouble you got people who got you covered.
Well, I mean, I listen, guys out there. This is me speaking from the heart, and all of us speaking from the heart, because everybody's gonna chime in about this, because this isn't just my show. This is our show. Pop Culture Renegades, thank you so much for joining us. But this is why you tune in for this, is because outside of our geekdoms, outside of what Johnny does as writer, myself is what I do as interviews, Daniel what he does with our after shows, Rob what he does with Star Wars and Disney. Outside of that, I want you guys to get to know us and what we believe in, because whether or not you agree or disagree, that's what's important to me, because it's not about whether you agree or disagree. It's about the conversation that we're having about it. And to me, what's most important is that as a geek community, we can be inclusive of everybody and enjoy that. So tune in to Pop Culture Renegades. And I'm not going to say that we're going to be politically charged every single week, because we're not. This is happening to be...
Sometimes, and I'll be honest, it's coming soon this summer. It's just going to be us going about a rant about how George R. R. Martin just won't write that next damn book.
or about how he might...
He need to write that damn book.
That's so true.
He need to write that damn book
So
now.
holding off to it, because you're going to die soon, and I need that shit happening now.
And I'm going to start trying to talk Joe into doing a James Bond show. So
Rob, if you want to do a James Bond show, we should talk. I mean...
I'm just saying...
Mission Impossible better, but whatever.
Wow.
You best not sit next to me, son.
Okay.
Put him on down.
I love you.
I am done with you.
I'm sorry.
I am
Tom
done
Cruise
with you.
did a great job. That's all I'm saying.
There has not been a bad Mission Impossible.
Well, there has been
No,
a bad Mission
one was
Impossible
good.
versus-
2 was okay.
No, 2 was shit. 2 was shit. Let
Limp
me not hold up
Bizkit
now.
did a great cover for that, okay?
No, Limp Bizkit did a great cover for 3.
No, that was 2. That was 2.
That was 2.
Oh, 2 was shit. And Limp
Why you
Bizkit
want to take
was
yourself
my
a look
favorite.
around or something?
Yeah,
like that, right?
Look around, Boba. It was shit,
Listen,
and I love Limp
5
Bizkit
brought
at
the
that time.
franchise back, and Vince
Yes,
Rames
it did.
always comes
Ving.
back.
Ving Rhames
Or Vince,
always
whatever you wanna call
No,
him.
he always did well in 1, 2, 3, 4, and
Like,
now
if
5.
we're talking
Can you
about
name
more
me another
iconic
good
franchise,
film that Ving Rhames was in?
Nope.
yeah.
I can tell you.
Baby boy.
No. What-
Guardians of the Galaxy Part 2.
Oh God!
No.
Small.
Nope.
Mission Impossible
Nope.
is better.
Nope. I'll tell you the best Ving Rhames movie ever.
Pulp Fiction.
You damn right.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction. That's true.
Yeah, true.
Yep.
But guys, this is
Tell us what.
Rob,
Oh,
go
so,
ahead, Johnny.
so just closing out, and if we do a James Bond show, it should be about how Idris Elba should be James Bond. But just want to give a quick shout out
Hold
to
on, who?
Idris Elba.
Idris Elba.
But before
Bro,
we just
I will doubt you on
We're
that.
gonna have a
And this is
conversation.
why I'm about to have this. I'm sorry, I'm gonna throw this out there. But would you change the ethnicity of Shaft?
Yes.
no.
Nope.
Because-
And you wouldn't
Make him
change
Indian.
The ethnicity of James
bro.
Bond.
You know why though?
Why?
Because Shaft's ethnicity plays to his character.
So
whereas-
does Bond.
How?
It's a
Wait.
What?
Black people can't be friends.
Oh!
We might
Yeah.
get into it on another show.
That's
though.
a good point.
That's
You
another
saw?
show.
Yeah, I almost went down the hole right there.
Yep.
But before we leave, just want
That
to
was
give
a setup. That was a setup.
That's a good setup right there.
All right, but seriously, before we go, we just want to give a quick shout out to Toku Kid. Toku gave us these awesome dino gems.
Toku!
So,
Yes!
So,
Toku!
this is one of the cast. Just want to let you know I'm giving them out Toku. And yeah, so Joe, take us off.
Dino Gems, Toka Kid, thank you so much. Guys, I'm going to tell you right now, we're on Pop Culture Renegades. This isn't the first or the last you're going to see of us. If you want to check out Pop Culture Renegades, yeah, and you never know we're going to live stream. But just subscribe right now because it'll give you that alert when we do. And it's not just the four of us.
I
It's,
just
no.
subscribed right now.
it's
Yeah.
everybody in that hashtag show because McDahlia did about an hour and a half long stream about
Dude!
more. Yeah, it was terrible. I understand.
No,
I
what are you
understand.
talking about? Dude, horror.
Joe.
The fact
Joe,
of the matter is this:
Joe,
McDahlia shouldn't have
Joe.
done an hour and a half stream. I don't get an hour and a half stream about a reaction to a
Joe.
goddamn trailer because me and Rob could have
What
done
was
it.
it about? What was it about?
Halloween. Me and Rob could have done it in about 7 minutes, right, Rob?
7 minutes.
Joe.
You could have knocked that
Can't
down
be calling out
and to
Jess's
be
girl
I
honest.
can't
like
call out
that.
Jez's girl. Hold on, I can't call out
Jess's
Jez's
girl like that.
Wait. Let's be real. What was the last time y'all were doing Infinity Watch and y'all were busting his balls?
Yeah, the
No,
Infinity
that was the
Condom.
last time. That was the
he
last
had the
time.
Infinity
The Infinity
Condom.
Condom.
The Infinity Condom's coming strong at Power Morphicon this year.
It is, it is.
Yeah.
But guys,
You gotta have all
we-
fingers.
Yeah, right.
All
Yeah,
5
give it up.
fingers say the face.
we're gonna be
Zip,
here. We're
zip.
gonna be here live every week on that hashtag show. But guess what? We're also gonna be bringing you the realist. And then when I mean realist, it's not this bullshit of like, hey, we're gonna have a guard up. You listen.
No.
When it's with us, when it's us hashtag show, it's gonna be real. So just like tonight, just like it will be. This may have been a racially charged episode, but the fact of the matter is, we're trying to make things better. Just like we hope that you guys in the geek community try to make things better. We just want to encourage that. That's our message. And next time, you never know what we're going to talk about. It might be Josh. It might be any of us. Any of us might be a Daniel, Tony.
Maverick. You never
It could
know
be
might
any of
show
us.
up.
But we want you guys to join us. But the only way to join us, though, is subscribing to Pop Culture Renegades right here on YouTube. That is Pop Culture Renegades right here on YouTube. But until then, you can catch us all, each on social media. Rob, where can they find you?
You can find me, honestly, on the screen where it says DJWYGHT at Instagram or RobWhite.com.
Daniel?
You can find me right there on the screen, Battlestar Galactica on Instagram. That is where I interact with everyone. Facebook, I kind of leave dead.
You can find me at that hashtag Joe, but mostly you can find us on that website at that hashtag show because we have crazy exclusives. This Monday, we're going to be dropping some Joker movie news. So check that out. That hashtagshow.com. Johnny, first of all, we got to promote this guy.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Where can they buy this?
So they can go follow me on Instagram and Twitter. Send me a message. I'll send you a copy. You can get it there. And again, you can follow me at JohnnyP313 on Instagram and Twitter. And just come check it out. And you can also find me at Comic-Con coming up in 1 month. People, we're 1 month away from Comic-Con. You can follow me at Small Press in 14. I'll be there holding it down, selling all my comics.
Yo, and for
Oh, yeah, this is 2
anybody
months.
who buys Johnny's book,
that's true.
I will attach a link to free music that I've got going on. So if
Rob's
you've got-
Free Music, there you go.
You want a link to everything that Johnny buys? I will add a free link to some music. Johnny, you let me know who buys your stuff. I will give you some free music.
I'll even go one better. In correlation with that,
Go playlist.
anybody that buys Johnny's book, we'll give you a T-shirt from that hashtag show 100% for free.
So hashtag music and book.
So you get Rob's music, you get Johnny's book, and you get that hashtag show shirt. Anybody that's a bundle package, all you got to do is, Johnny, where can they find this again?
So go to my Instagram and Twitter, send me a message, and we'll send you a book, a T-shirt, and link to music.
There you go.
Done.
Guys, I want to thank you guys so much for participating in the conversation and joining us. I know it was a uncomfortable conversation, but it's a conversation we all should have.
We made it through it, though.
Yeah, we made it through it.
There you go.
But guys, please hit that like, share, and subscribe button to stay up to date with everything trending
in geek pop culture.
And that is Pop Culture Renegades. Renegades out!